Hi guys, and welcome back to Crafty Addy. Today I'm going to be showing you how I clean my betta fish's tank. So let's head over to his tank and let's get started. Okay, so this is his tank. He stays in a 3-gallon tank with 2 Heidi's, gravel of course, and a betta fish leaf. He has a heater, and over here he has a filter. He's sleeping up by a filter. He is a male double-tailed betta fish, and his name is Kirby. As you can see, his tank is very dirty, and he has a lot of algae in it, especially down on the gravel. So I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be using to clean his tank today. Okay, so these are all the supplies I'll be using. I'm using this purple bucket for him to wade in while I'm cleaning his tank, this net, his filter replacements, a gravel cleaner, a toothbrush to scrub. This is an unused one, but you can see some algae on it from last time, and a sponge, and of course a big bucket to clean out all of the water. So let's go ahead and start off with the steps. Okay, so first I have to unplug all of his cords. So I'm going to unplug his light, and then all of his cords back here. So all of these are on an extension cord. Sorry about the noise. I'm trying to pull his extension cord up. Might be easier to get it through this corner, wider through here. So those are those, and I'm going to go ahead and unplug everything. There we go, and then I'm going to just take off his lid here. As you can see, he's pretty active because he knows that he's going to be getting tank cleaning now. He's awake. And then I'm just setting his top, right over here on the towel to get washed. And I'm going to start then moving everything off this table so I can start pumping out some water. Okay, so I'm going to start pumping out water, and he's in his little hut now, but what's really cool about this tank is you can just pull this up, turn it, and push it down. It's a little stuck. Push it down. There we go. Oh shoot, I unplugged the tank thing, so let me just plug it in quick. I think it's this one. There you go, and it'll start pumping out water. And so I'm just going to go ahead and let this pump out for a little bit and until it gets high enough. So this is what he's going to be staying in while I clean his tank. So now we'll just wait here for a little bit until it goes up a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to transfer him. I already filled it up quite a bit. You can see that it's pretty a lot of water in there for him to swim in. While he waits, I just pull this up and I'm going to push it back in and stick this in the tank and pull out his decorations. So I like to put his decorations, yes, they'll get cleaned, but I like to put them in here with him. It helps him be less stressed in there and gives him something to hide. Normally I'll put this one in there with him because that's really low and it can still let him to go all the way around it. Then I have to move this one. As you can see, he just came out of it. And now I just have to scoop him up. Come here, little dude. Whoop, honey. He's very panicked in here. As you can see, no fish really likes the net. I'm just gonna scoop him up and plop him in. Come on, dude, you gotta come out of the net. There you go. And as you can see, he went straight into his little hut in there. So now I'm just going to be moving him on my desk over there. So I'll see you when that's done. Okay, so he's in here, as you can see, in his little hut. He keeps swimming in there. You can see him right in there, though. He's in his little hut, and I have this little lamp on over here. It's just a lamp for like a desk on, just so he still gets his daylight cycle. I don't think that you can see him very well in there, so I will just show you the rest of his tank cleaning. Okay, so ignore me talking here because the sound in this did not work out very well. So what I'm doing is pumping out a bunch of water into this large blue bucket until I can get as much as I can. I probably won't get everything, but I'm trying to get as much as I can into this blue bucket. Okay, so the tank is a little bit loud now since it's not submerged in water, but I got as much water as I can out. That's how much is out, and then I have a full bucket of water, so now I'm gonna go dump this in the toilet and unplug this and go dump this water in the toilet since we're not going to be using it. Okay, so now that I've emptied his tank the best I could with water, I'm going to take out the rest of the stuff. So that includes a net, his little hut, his hidey, everything that I can, including his heater. So his heater will get washed too, to make sure that there is no algae in there. Just give me a moment, I'm trying to get this out from behind. It is overwrapped around here, but that's okay. There we go, it was stuck in the cord. The cords get quite a bit of mess because of how many there is. He needs 3 cords to run his whole tank. There we go, we're gonna clean these in a little bit. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it to the bathroom. So I'll see you there once I brought this to the bathroom in the blue bucket. Okay, so I'm in my bathroom now and I'm going to take the gravel from here and put it in the bucket. So I laid out a towel here so I would not spill anything and have the bucket here. Now I don't want to get this cord wet, so I'm going to be putting that behind it. So this can cause a little bit of spilling, that's why I do have the towel. So don't be shocked by that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this here and start pouring in. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of extra water, but that's okay, because it'll get dumped out anyway. Alright, and now I'm just going to dump in all of the pebbles. And then hold it here, and then I have a toothbrush and a sponge here, and I'm just gonna kind of get stuff here. This is going to get wet and washed anyway, but we just want as many rocks as we can in there. All right, so that's as best as I think I'm going to get it since this is natural rock. It has some smaller pieces, but that's okay because I'll be washing this out and rinsing it. So now I'm going to wash these in here. So I'm just going to use water. I'm just going to get some water from here and put it into this bin. Okay, so sorry about that random pause there. I did have to go and cover him to make sure that he did not jump out of his tank, since betta fish are known to jump and can jump. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all of his grains and just mixing it up in a bucket full of lukewarm water. It doesn't really matter what you wash it in. I just turned it on and did this. And rub them together like this. Okay, so once the water, it isn't that dirty, but that's okay. It's time for our first dump. So now I'm going to dry my hands so it doesn't get any water on it and drip it all over. I'm going to pick this up, bring it over here, and put the water, the dirty water, into the toilet. And be careful not to drop any gravel in. As you can see, it is pretty dirty. It's okay if it drips a little bit. Alright, so as you can see, the pebbles are pretty clean, but I'm going to do one more rinse just for extra measure to make sure, since his tank was extremely algae. So I'm just going to repeat that same process, put the water in, scrub them, dump it down the toilet, and I'll be back when I've fully done that. Okay, so now I'm taking his tank and going to clean this out of it. I'm just going to get some water from the sink since that's the easiest. since I don't need much either. I'm doing this just so I have enough to scrub it out with this. So I'm gonna get it all nice and wet, and I'm gonna clean off all the algae. So algae, especially likes to grow on glass, especially in his tank and on this black side. So that's why I'm going to wash this. And then as you can see, that's why it didn't matter if there's a little bit of gravel. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a good clean. And then I'm going to take this brush, get it wet, and go into the corners to make sure that there's nothing in there. In all the corners and some of these. So this is actually his filter. So if you come over here, you can see that here's the pump and here's the filter. And we'll probably change the filter because that filter is pretty dirty. I also sometimes scrub in here just to make sure that it gets, yeah, that's pretty dirty. Just to make sure that it gets really nice and clean, because we don't want it to grow algae back the next day. As you can see, there's a little bit like almost hard water almost, it looks like, but I'm pretty sure it's algae, so I'm just gonna go ahead and scrub it a bit. See, it's gone, and make sure that here is nice and clean. As you can see, the brush is getting pretty dirty because of all the algae that we're picking up. So I'm just gonna go over it with a sponge once more and finish wiping down the whole tank, and then I will come back to you with the finished tank and to get the rocks ready. Okay, so now that I have a thorough wipe down of this and have done it a few times, I'm going to dump all of his rock back into his tank so I can get water ready. So I'm just going to, it's okay that there's water. Sorry, that was probably pretty loud. And then I'm going to try to get as best as I can in, and then more will come out as I'm adding water into the tank. But that's that. So now I'm going to be taking this back into my room. I'm not going to film that because it's going to be pretty hard to film taking it back in, but just know that I'm taking this back in there. So yeah, see you then. Okay, so here I am grabbing the different decorations after I've put the tank in the room. Grabbing the decorations so I can clean up the decorations and make them so there's no more algae on them. Here's me grabbing some out of Kirby, where he is. He's swimming around in there. And putting them in a large blue bucket to get washed. And now I'm going to scrub his thing pretty good, and also the inside of it. Okay, so now I need to get water for his tank, so it can get pretty cold, so we want it pretty much right in here because it can't be too hot. I like it between 78 and 84 degrees. Just get a bunch of water going. Sorry, it's probably going to be pretty loud. Next, I'm going to be using this Betta water conditioner, and this will condition it. Okay, so here I am plugging in all of the things to start getting his tank heated up. Now to add in the heater and plug it in. Okay, so I just have to plug in his light, wait 30 minutes, and make sure that his temperature is up. As you can see, it's red right now, so it means that it's not ready yet, but as soon as that turns green and it's been 30 minutes for the water conditioner to set, we're ready. Okay guys, as you can see, Kirby is set up in his new tank. I've plugged the light in. His temperature was green, but of course it fluctuates, so right now it's just heating it up a little bit more. He has all of his stuff in there, and he is back up in his corner where you saw him in the very beginning. He likes to sleep there and hang out right there. He has all of his water conditioner, and that's sat for 30 minutes, so he's really ready. Thank you for watching me clean Kirby's tank. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.